This is John coming to you from the campground again. There's a highway here. You can see it's right there. The Halfway Creek Campground, Francis Marion National Forest. There's a sign for it. There's a van down there. You might be able to see once you get a little closer that I actually have a tarp up on it now. And so I'm going to be here till Monday afternoon, which is fine because I'm really liking this place actually. It's nice temperature. It's kind of raining off and on, but it's not too bad. Once the rain stops, it's kind of nice to walk out here a little bit. There's a light sprinkle here, but it's kind of like, it's a nice temperature, kind of breezy and kind of like a little bit cold, which is like kind of how I'd prefer it to be, especially because the van's kind of hot, you know, because it doesn't, I got all that insulation in there, so it's not really set up, and I need like to put a big fan in there or something. Here's like the woods. It's got a nice woods. You can see this, it's kind of like a thin woods, I think, which is usually what you get when you have like this sandy soil, because I guess we're only about like, you know, like 10 miles from the ocean or something like that, you know, I don't know. Anyway, and in case you're interested in visiting Francis Marion National Forest, they do have dispersed camping, but you just have to get a free permit if you want to do any dispersed camping, like on the roads and stuff. But there's several like free campgrounds like this, you know. So yeah, this one is actually set up to be more of a, it's more a tent camping, because there's some trails that go back to the tent spots, and they're more isolated, you know. But if you're doing a van, you got to kind of do like I'm doing, and you know, so you're going to be kind of out in the open. But so that might be a reason to at a place like this, even if you have a van, to have a tent along, if you're going to even be for a few days. And you could even, maybe you don't even want to sleep in it, you could just have it as hangout area. I was thinking of getting one of those, like just one of those like sitting areas, like screened in things where you sit, just to have like a day hangout area, and put that in one of the camp spots. We'll see. But yeah, I got my tarp set up here, so the tarp's been doing pretty good so far. I don't know if it's going to hold up that well if we have if really strong winds, but so far it's been doing okay. It is kind of it's kind of got a lot of holes in it that I could probably I guess tape up or glue up or something maybe. But anyway, so it's I got like this screen right here. Oh, so I'm gonna be here till Monday, because I don't think I've said this yet, because it looks like my alternator's bad, and so I set up an appointment to go get it fixed. And so I think I have enough even with the alternator not really working. And I think the other thing too is I think the alternator might put out enough current, like once it gets to like high speeds maybe. But because of that, because I have that, and I also have those dual batteries set up, I think I probably should have enough to just run on just basically you're basically powering the spark plugs, which is like using battery instead of the alternator. So I think I should have enough power just to make it down there. And I think it's mostly downhill from there too, so that's good too. And from here, so I'm gonna hang around till Monday, which is nice. I guess it's a good thing. After I did all that driving, it's kind of good just to kind of like sit someplace quiet and just hang out for a while, And I'm thinking that's maybe how in the future how I'd have to do more of these van adventures, not like just hopping from place to place, especially with Charlie too. Maybe it'd just be better just to find like places I can just stay for a while, just hang out, just relax, and then kind of have camps. So I can it's kind of messy now, but I can get camp set up a little more, just to basically take a lot of the important stuff that I'm going to be using out, so I don't have to just make it, and then have a little area to sit like this, a lot better than a Walmart parking lot for sure. And then I was going to use a microwave, but then when I saw that the voltage wasn't going up after I started the engine, I could tell the alternator was going bad. So there's Charlie in there. Got you sitting in the dark because I can't really I'm conserving energy now. Maybe we can get a little sun in, and I can see if that solar panel I have might give me a little bit of help. But anyway, oh, I did boil some water. I'll put that up in a second. That little stove, I was boiling some water before, but what I did is I just put it in one of these insulated containers here, so I'd have kind of like hot water pretty much for the whole day probably. But and okay, this is all a mess too. So what I can do is I can kind of try to organize stuff a little bit while I'm here, and then anyway, but basically just relax. Got my keyboard here. See, I'm relaxed. I'm enjoying this, and actually, that generator the guy's running, I guess I got kind of used to it after a while. It wasn't too bad. I mean, it didn't bother me too much after a while, so that's good. So, oh.